I'm warning you. Don't even think you can hassle me just because I'm an apostle. Wait a minute. Where did you find that basilisk? So that's where Brassy went. He must have taken a wrong turn or been swept away by the oil in the pipes. I thought I'd lost him forever. Oh, well, not to say that I'm so attached to a mere toy. I just didn't want to lose all that data. Why else would I put Brassy in the pipes? I wanted to see where they led. So I tasked him with exploring the pipelines and archiving what was found. Gave me quite the scare when he ceased responding last night. Set bless you. I can't wait to delve into all this collected data. Please take this for your trouble. Knowledge may go beyond value, but I hope this shows my gratitude. Come on, Brassy. Let's get you set up for analysis.
Looking for a harvester with some
Capable
guns.
combatants needed. Reflecting. Reflecting. Lord Set has developed travel to the... I am able to give you further specification is needed. I can no longer verified.
Someone in need?
Oh, my friend. Thank Mara I found you once more. Dastards. Miscreants of the very worst cut. As soon as you left, they were upon me, beating me, taking the gold you so kindly gave me to feed my poor, starving children. Oh, most assuredly. Not a bite to eat in days. Weeks, even. Won't you please help me out before it's too late for my 11 sickly children? Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you. My 17 sickly children thank you as well. I won't forget this kindness. The gods keep you.
If you're looking for a handout, keep looking. I have a hard enough time keeping this mangy dog fed. Let me guess. Orenol sent you to let me know he'll be on his adventure for another few weeks, yeah? Well, you go right on back to him and tell him this. Dogs are expensive. He's going to compensate me for all I've spent feeding this root-arse mutt. What? He's dead? How in Ifra's name did that happen? Orenol's dead? I can barely believe it. My cousin always did crave adventure, but he was always so careful. I never thought... No matter. I know why you're here. It's about the dog, isn't it? I always knew he loved her more than he let on. I suppose I have to. I'll admit, the mutt's more useful than most. She at least keeps the rats at bay. Besides, I don't think anyone else would. Thank you for letting me know. Here's something for your troubles. seems this is all I ever do.
Is this how machines feel as their gears wind down? It's wondrous, isn't it? Elegant, meticulous, timeless. I once took joy in studying the perfection of this realm, but now every revolution of the great gear only tightens the vice in my chest. Tell me, are you here to unravel Lord Set's mysteries? Then may I impose on you as a fellow seeker. For all my learning, I can think of no escape from my predicament, save one. An experiment performed by one of my order, for which she was cast out from the Clockwork Apostles. I need you to find her. Terere Heladrin was ahead of her time. It was fear that led to her expulsion, not reason. I see that now. Please find her. Tell her I'll make it right if she'll save my life. There is no one among the Order I can turn to. She is my only hope. Terere has been gone a very long time, but her ill-fated experiment created a persistent disorder in the grand schema. Its motions are chaotic, but not entirely unpredictable. Following it may provide some clue to her whereabouts. We were some of Tamriel's best and brightest magi, invited to the Clockwork City by Sothasil to attend his experiments and learn from the greatest mind in creation. We have been left to our own devices for a long time. Order was needed, regulation. We believed she was meddling with forces that were solely the domain of the Clockwork God. A backward, emotional response one might expect from followers of a less enlightened deity. Destroying her notes and shunning her ideas was shameful. Terrory's ambitious experiment resulted in a factotum going haywire. It reduced portions of the brass fortress to shambles before taking its rampage off into the reactor district. We record its movements by analyzing the destruction in its wake. Age, Seeker. Too many grains from the hourglass have gathered in this humble body. They've worn its workings so thin. I don't think it will be long before I join the inert. But I'm not ready. There's still so much to see.
All prices have been calculated with current market trends. Initializing. Combat sequence reactivated.
Who are you? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't reduce you to dust where you stand. He what? No, absolutely not. That experiment cost me everything I held dear. I was a fool to try it. Sovor of all people should know that. The only thing I want is to put an end to Bolin's misery. You want to make things right? Help me free his soul from its machine prison. Do that, and maybe, just maybe I'll be willing to entertain this insanity. Remove the black soul gem from his factotum body and return it to me. He'll resist you, and as that machine, Bolin is extremely dangerous. He nearly killed me during his last episode. In the meantime, I'll contact Sovor, but no promises. My lover, when I was still an apostle, he was mortally wounded in an accident, beyond any hope of survival, but I couldn't accept that. I was enlightened, so I saved his life by transferring his spirit into a factotum. Bolin's consciousness took over the factotum, but the experience changed him. He always had a wild, creative mind, and I confined it to a cold, rigid prison. That stifled existence was too much to bear. It drove him mad. More than certain. Every moment that he lingers in that mechanical shell is torture. For both of us. Just don't damage the Black Soul Gem. Honestly, I'm not sure you could. But just be careful. Bolin's moods are unpredictable. In his rare lucid moments, I try to reach out to him. But no matter what I try, I only ever seem to get him worked up into a frenzy. Seeing him like that makes me wish I wouldn't blame him if he killed me. I don't know. I'd like nothing more than to smash it into 1,000 pieces. But there's no guarantee that that would redeem Bolin's soul. I've been so focused on finding and stopping that factotum that I haven't really considered what would come after.
I just want to go home.
Dust aside, the equipment is in good order. We just need the vessel, and we can begin.
Is that them? Have they returned? The world feels so heavy now.
This is dredging up so many unpleasant memories. Please tell me you've managed to show Bolin some measure of peace. That's something, at least. I've agreed to attempt my experiment again with Sovar as my subject. He's promised to petition the Order to end my exile if I'm successful. But I couldn't care less about that. I just want this to be over. The truth is, I need Sovar as much as he needs me. I think the only way I can safely extract Bolin's soul from the gem is to offer it something in exchange. Who knows if I'll ever have another willing subject? Can I count on your assistance? I'd like you close at hand in case Sovar has a similar reaction to the experiment as Bolin. Throw that switch when you're ready to begin the transfer. I'll keep watch on the equipment from here. It's begun. Now would be the time to pray.
I am faithful, Lord Saxtons. Observe, learn, apply, trust in his grand design.
Yes, it's sublime. This order.
Ifre, I can feel. Thank you. I can feel.
I think it worked. Please, please let it have worked. Is it him? Is that really my Bolin, or just what's left? Will he hate me? Will he even recognize me? I can't do this. I can't face him. I know. It's better than not knowing, always wondering, but thank you for ending this. I need a moment. I don't think Bolin has long. Bolin? Is it you? Speak to me. I need to know it's still you, please.
Terrory, when did we get so old? It's time now, isn't it?
It is. You're free now. I'm sorry for all the pain it caused.
Enough tears, love. We're liable to rust. There. That's the smile.
I am one with Lord Set's grand design. I can feel my purpose in my very core. My mind is free of the clutter of my living needs. I am no longer burdened by the weight of my decaying flesh. I am free. Thank you. All cogs drive the mechanism. Removing any one from the chain, no matter how small, results in failure. I would no longer exist without the both of you. As promised, I will ensure Terrory's reinstatement to the Order. All cogs drive the mechanism. Continue the quest for understanding. It has always been my purpose, and I have never been better suited for it. In this form, I may labor as tirelessly as Lord Set himself. I have never been better. I may never be better. I only regret not undergoing this self-improvement sooner. The Order was faulty in denying Terrory's genius. I must correct this error. There is one place where my condition would not be considered unusual. The Asylum Sanctorium. The resident alienists there can best evaluate my psyche. A stable transference will be welcome news. They will need to be convinced of many things. My authenticity, my condition, Terrory's reintroduction. Have faith that their flaws will be corrected.
Combat protocol on standby.
Hello there. Are you here in response to the bulletin about my factotum research? Fantastic. Now let me fill you in on the details. I found this factotum head in a junk pile, which isn't too uncommon for the Brass Fortress. I was intrigued, however, by its strange coloring. I was even more intrigued when it began to speak to me. It gave a repeated message, requesting to find its integral of memory in the mnemonic planisphere. That's where you come in. I need an adventuring sort to journey to the planisphere in order to find this component. Are you still interested? The journey to the mnemonic planisphere is riddled with dangers, so it's best to prepare. Shouldn't be any issues once you head inside, though. My research leads me to believe the integral of memory will resemble a crystal. Would you believe that the Apostles don't know how to create factotums? That was a rhetorical question. The sad truth is that while we Apostles can create metal limbs and motors, we cannot replicate the intelligence Sotha Seal gave the factotums. We're also unable to enter the factories where they're created. Why does Lord Set do anything? He's the father of mysteries, after all. Through his silence, curiosity is born. Perhaps he meant for us Apostles to figure this one out on our own. And I believe I've finally found a breakthrough with this factotum. Firstly, I already know it is an older, simpler model. You can see the dwarven influences in the skull, an aesthetic blight by today's standards. We Apostles see dwarves as a race to scorn, not emulate. This model must predate that thinking. Secondly, unlike other factotums, it openly speaks of its components. Trust me, I've interrogated many of these machines in the name of my research. Perhaps as we reconstruct its mind, it will tell us details about its creation. And thirdly, well, its voice. Factotums are genderless machines, of course, but they all sound distinctly female. This one is the first I've met to have a male voice. I'm not sure what it means, but I am sure I'll find answers as I further my research.
Scan array calibrating. Awareness rate. May Set's divine clockworks protect you, resident.
I don't care if he is a god. If Lord Vivek holds audience, so much...
You've been told before, beloved. That's not how things work.
Someone! Anyone? We need help here! I knew that if I called out long enough, someone would find me! Quickly now, come inside. Cultists have knocked the stars from our sky, and we have to put them back before all Lord Set's memories are taken for good! Oh, drat. Look, it's easier to explain once we're inside the mnemonic planisphere. That's where Lord Set stores his memories by... well, it's just easier to show you first. Yes, exactly! You're a quick learner. I need someone who can fight off these cultists and help me return the stars to the planisphere sky. Please, you have to help us. This task is of the most vital importance. Quick, follow me! The planisphere is right through this door. Who can help us? Are you all right? Please, rest if you need it.
I have maintained these stars for millennia. Do not concern yourself.
Yes, much easier to explain now. This is the demonic planisphere where Sotha sealed memories take the form of stars. We need your help to reclaim the stars that have fallen and place them back in the sky. If not, all shall be lost. All this knowledge! Sotha seal's memories are our most important source of inspiration, of discovery. Without them, the Clockwork Apostles will be lost, stagnant and unguided. Please, for the sake of our most sacred knowledge, you must help. Oh, thank you for understanding what this means to my order. I need you to gather the primary stars belonging to the points of our constellations. Once enough stars are returned to the rightful place, the rest should fall into ranks. Eventually. With this. Now, this device has a very fancy, proper name, but I simply call it the Star Scooper. Use it to gather the stars you see floating around the halls, and bring it back here to the astronomer. He'll know what to do next. Questions? Let's say there's a memory that Lord Set wishes to store. First he turns the memory into a star, which forms in an associated constellation chamber. A powerful spell will form in the Mage's Wing, a great victory in the Warriors. Exactly so. It then travels to the Planisphere Center where we teach the star its place in the sky. We send it to a forming room if Lord Set wishes to access the memory, or for apostles to study from. Each star has wisdom to share. Well, that would certainly complicate things. Lord Set still remembers, but in a distant way. He can analyze these memories rationally, without their emotional attachments clouding his divine judgment. At least, that's what the astronomer told me. Astronomer is the title given to the caretaker of the planisphere. Astronomer, stars, you know. The current astronomer has been around almost as long as the Clockwork City has. The blessings of a god really can do wonders for your lifespan. Why, I'm his apprentice. Sorry, should have led with that. He only recently chose me as his replacement, though I'm not sure this is a position you can just retire from, if you catch my drift. I suppose even a god's blessing can only last so long. Oh, all a matter of perspective here in Clockwork, age and whatnot. I assure you I've always been quite diligent in my studies, and the astronomer says I show promise. Well, I mean, he hasn't outright said that to me, but I just get that feeling. Their memories given form. Makes sense, doesn't it? After all, our thoughts are as numerous as the stars in the sky. And they're actually called multiplanar mnemonic receptacles, but I just find stars easier to say. Memories are distracting little things, and Lord Set has more of them than most of us combined. Storing them here allows him to focus his divine intellect on the current task at hand. And the tasks of a god? Very important things. I don't believe they're after memories precisely, but rather information. The planisphere houses much of Sotha Seal's most sacred wisdom. Let all that knowledge fall into the wrong hands? I can't even imagine the vile possibilities. Quickly now, give the Star Scooper to the astronomer. You're in for a real treat. Not many get to witness this. Oh dear, that's not good. That's not good at all. Sorry, but I have to go check on something. The astronomer will explain.
Six stars refuse to answer my call, and the primary constellations remain incomplete. Their instability threatens the integrity of the entire planisphere. Unless returned, I fear all memories will be lost, even to the Clockwork God himself. The planisphere was created as an extension of Lord Set's consciousness. Connected, yet apart. An endless sky of divine knowledge, perfectly preserved. We must protect the planisphere at all costs. We must help the stars remember. Memories are fragile, easily broken, easily swayed. My powers of guidance and preservation are not so easily replicated. The cultists seek to control, but only corrupt. I must stay here to keep the constellations stable. It is up to you. Go to the calibration guides located upon the platforms which surround us. Use them to guide the missing stars back to their rightful place in the sky. My apprentice will show you how. I see questions are burning within you. Ask, and I may answer. They seek to control the planisphere, and believe these stars will help them with that task. The corruption is merely a result of trying to view the memory without my aid. Clockwork City was created by a god of reason. Here, knowledge is power. To control the planisphere would be to control the omni-axle, the center of the wheel. The means to change the very reality we know. A dangerous power. I am the astronomer, keeper of the stars. A wheel that ever turns. It goes beyond my own mere flesh. Soon, my apprentice will receive this title, and I will take my final step upon this path. I have upheld this divine task for millennia. My devotion may be unwavering, but my flesh is not. I must give this duty to another before my power fades. Only then will I allow myself to finally rest. Do not let her cheerful demeanor fool you. Her magic is strong, and her connection to the stars is uncommonly clear. Within her, I have found the successor I've searched centuries to find. And she takes great pride in that. My apprentice is an oddity among our order, yet refuses to change. A stubbornness that will serve her well, or perhaps be her undoing. We shall see. I know her devotion to be unwavering, for the planisphere would cease to be without an astronomer to guide it. I only have so much power left within me. She will do what is best for her god and her people. In that, I have faith.
going to win, Theo. We have to believe that.
Greatest fear is ours, Purr! Here they are. Let me just scoop them up. And now, watch this! Oh, right. They don't know where to go. If you can point out where they're supposed to be on the calibration guide, we can send them on their way. The stars have forgotten where they belong. Use the calibration guides on the floor to show them where to go. The matching constellation on the planisphere's sky will show you the way. In the meantime, I'll continue to keep the stars stable. This is a rather tricky process. The stars are fragile things, easily overwritten by stray thoughts and memories. All my concentration is needed to keep my mind clear. The astronomer's much better at this than I am, but I'm what you have. He has to concentrate on keeping the planisphere's constellation stable. They're susceptible to breaking apart again in their incomplete state. Not only that, but I'd rather keep him from any strenuous activity. Wouldn't want him to break a hip. Done. Now, the Star Scooper kept a record of what was inside those stars. Let's have a look, shall we? Fragment in memory of Lord Set speaking to someone. This must have been what the cultists were looking for.
Stewardship of my memories carries a high price, Orvas. One that you must pay willingly.
Wait, was that the astronomer? He was so young! And with hair! Not half bad looking either. good team.
So be it. I'll leave you the knowledge of this spell to bestow upon your successor when the time comes.
Maybe the cultists want to learn how to perform the spell. Easy to overwrite the memories with your own.
Of course, my lord, but will it hurt?
You will not remember.
That doesn't sound very good. What happened in this memory? We've collected all the memory fragments we need. Let's head back to the Planisphere Center so we can watch the whole thing. that we've returned the stars and recovered the memory fragments, the astronomer can use the nemograph here to play the full memory back. I'm rather curious about its contents. We need to be able to reform memories at a moment's notice. After all, apostles often travel from the Brass Fortress to research Lord Set's thoughts. This nemograph translates the starlight into a visual form. I just know it's him. It looks like he's receiving some sort of boon from Lord Set, but I don't understand why that would be important to the cultists. I doubt you can easily replicate the powers of a god, even with the memory of the spell.
Stewardship of my memories carries a high price, Orvas. One that you must pay willingly.
I understand. I'd sacrifice anything to serve you, my lord. Even my memory.
Wait, the sacrifice
So be it.
his memory?
I'll leave you the knowledge of this spell to bestow upon your successor when the time comes.
Of course, my lord, but will it hurt?
You will not remember.
No! It can't be!
Now you know the truth. It is time.
You never told me of this sacrifice. My life, yes, I'll give it. But my mind, my whole being...
Speak with her.
I know my duty. My whole life has been devoted to this path laid before me. I know the risks, the repercussions to the planisphere should I refuse, the repercussions to my god. Why then? Why am I so scared? Manipulating the stars requires severe concentration. They're easily corrupted by stray thoughts, rendering them useless. Not having a memory must help ease that burden. The excitement of becoming an apostle, my frustration when so many doubted me, how nervous I was for my first kiss. To give it all away, I would lose more than my memories. I would lose myself. I know the astronomer's power is fading. I feel it. He needs to transfer his power, and soon. If he dies before another apprentice could be found... The planisphere needs me. My god needs me. Can I really be so selfish? You're right. It's too late to turn back now. People depend on me. My god depends on me. Would you come with me? I may not remember you being there, but it would be a comfort all the same. I've decided. I will become the next astronomer. I give myself willingly to serve the chrononymic will as it has seen fit.
So be it. I'll start the process now. Take care of the planisphere. And yourself as well, Amelie. I can finally rest.
What was I... Oh, a visitor. The mnemonic planisphere welcomes you, traveler. Due to the recent attack, we are not holding memory viewings. You'll have to return at another time. How strange. I feel a sense of gratitude towards you, though I'm not sure why. Ah, so you have. You have the gratitude of the Clockwork Apostles. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must inspect the memories to see if they were damaged by the attack. You would be surprised how fragile they can be. I thank you once more for aiding us in our time of need. May your thoughts be clear and your heart ever oiled. I know we haven't met before, but I feel a sense of familiarity with you. Odd how you sometimes get that feeling with strangers. The cultists have corrupted many stars in their search for control. I need time to restore the memories and guide them to their proper place in the planisphere sky. Hopefully, it shall not take me too long. There's not much I can do at the moment. My focus must go towards tending to the corrupted stars and protecting the planisphere from further damage. Until the integrity of these sacred halls are upheld, the cultists will just have to wait.
You've returned in one piece. How gleaming! In your absence, I've set up a framework to contain the factotum while we assemble its parts. I'll have you do the honors. Of installing the integral of memory. You heard the head? Insert the crystal into its forehead ridge. And don't worry, you won't break it. Sotha Seal builds his creations to last.
Reflecting. Oh, I feel positively spring-loaded now. What a kind, generous apostle you are, which I recall is rather strange. Reflecting. I've come to the conclusion that I am. I have no memory stored of any of my kind who are older, so I conclude that I must be the first. How gleaming. I cannot recall my name, but you may call me Precursor. Of course, let me check my integral of memory. Should be right. Great Sotha Seal in the Sanctum. Someone's tampered with my crystalline memory matrix. But wait, something's burned in here. I seem to have left a note for myself. Ahem. Salutations, me. By now you must be wondering what happened to our memory. Dark forces have conspired to corrupt our knowledge of the world. But do not fear. I, the past you, have stored our memory in our other parts. A circumstance I have not accounted for. This is me now, not the message. I recall that my design includes both Dwemer and Clockwork parts. I also recall my blueprint, so I can guide my assembly once you find my parts. So the seal guide you, Apostle. I don't quite understand. I function only to know my Lord Sotha and his apostles. You are not my lord, and thus you must be an apostle. Simple. Do you have an inquiry, or perhaps a task for me, Apostle?
Astounding! The first factotum Sotha created! We simply must complete construction now. The more memory it recalls, the further my research can develop. Council seat, here I come! The Precursor mentioned he was made of Clockwork and Dwemer parts. I'd keep an eye out for the former as you travel around Clockwork City, and search Dwemer ruins out in Tamriel for the latter. And of course, I have your reward as promised.
Apostle, I have remembered something. Come quickly before it rusts. Ah, the sounds and smells of Morrowind. I know these lands like the back of my hand. My left hand, to be exact. Lord Sotha deemed it uncouth to give my parts eyes, but each has a wide array of sensors. I can orient myself on Nirn by the air's smell and the earth's feel. Why, my pelvis even has gustatory sensors. I suspect that's Lord Vivek's contribution. I mean, of course, I have no proof that he had a part in my creation, but I like to think so. My dramatic flair, my poetic soul, it helps set me apart from the rest of my siblings. To sense, to touch, to feel. What gifts I have been given.
Increasing visual clarity by 15%.
I hope to see you again, Assistant. Pray tell, what did Devaith Fear have to say? I fear that he and I might have gotten off to a poor start. Did he ask about me? Any mention of my many exploits? Raynor? Surely this is something I can handle myself. Impressing Devaith Fear could greatly increase my standing in the Dwemer scholarly community. Tell me, what does Lord Fear ask of me? Us? He just wants us to build a lamp? What an odd request. No matter. I would be happy to offer my ample expertise, provided you let Devaith Fear know that I did so. First things first. I need to study one of the lamps we're supposed to recreate.
I have many functions to help you with your purchases. Some kind of tubular housing. Probably meant to protect a glass interior? Difficult to say. A complex filament of some kind. The weaving on this fiber, it must be machine-made. I should be taking notes. Some kind of compressor. For funneling a gas, perhaps? Interesting. Look at the apertures on this. It must be some kind of modulator that changes the nature of the light. Fascinating. Compressors, filaments, housings, modulators. Yes! I think I understand what these discarded lights have in common. Unlike the other lamps, these compress some kind of geodic gas into metal tubes, then modulate the light to create another kind of illumination that mortal eyes cannot see. Invisible light! Remarkable! The potential applications are limitless. Yes, with Raynor's assistance, I believe we can recreate this lamp without much difficulty. Of course, you'll need to procure the requisite parts. These are all broken beyond repair. What do you plan to do with this light, exactly? You plan to do what? Oh dear. Well, this seems like a terrible idea, but I shall rely upon you and Lord Fear to protect me. Here's a list of the components I'll need. Once you've acquired them, meet me in the Hall of Refined Techniques. Good luck.
Now there's the look of someone on the hunt for something specific. You've come to the right place, friend. I've got a bit of everything. What can I get you? As a matter of fact, I acquired some of those just a few days ago. Apparently, someone's tossing out the old lighting to make way for the new. They're not easy to come by anymore, though. What's your offer? Varuni Arvel? Well, that changes everything. Any friend of Varuni's is a friend of mine. Why don't you take this tube on the house? Just let Varuni know how helpful I was, all right? And that I'm pretty good looking. Well spoken, too. Deal?
The initiate forgot his tabulator.
Ah, you've returned! Excellent! Raynor and I have cobbled together a serviceable frame for the lamp. All we need now are the components I sent you to acquire. Were you successful? Wonderful! I'm confident this lamp will conform to the exact specifications of the lamps they removed, provided Raynor didn't make any miscalculations. So, would this be the time to inform Devaith Fear of our success? Or mine, specifically? Excellent, excellent! No need to return here, of course. Kirith should be back straight away, and I'll have her run the completed lamp over to the locutorium as soon as it's ready. See you soon, assistant.
What is it?
He is a god. If Lord Vivek holds audience, so must Sotha Seal.
You've been told before, Villar. That's not how things work here.
Of all the rudeness I've ever encountered, I demand...
Demand what? A night in a cold cell? Because that could be arranged.
Ah, I was beginning to worry. Not about you, of course. These apostles have been circling me like cliff racers. Looking for an autograph, no doubt. So tiresome. I take it you were successful in learning about these lights and constructing a new one? Well done. I assume you discovered the special property of these lamps. Why does my dear friend Seal go to such lengths to avoid them? Invisible light. Fascinating. To help with factotum navigation, perhaps? Huh. No matter. Further inquiry must wait. Now is the time for action. I will request a congressional assembly. Plant your lamp on the balcony above, then return to me.
Did you say something about putting the lamp on the balcony? We might have a problem. Raynor and that annoying high elf finished your lamp, but there's a problem. On the way here, I overheard an aide complaining about some new security measures Sotha Seal put in place. Looks like the balcony is under heavy guard now. Looks that way, unless you want blood on your hands, of course. But that might complicate our sponsorship a smidge, yeah? Just be quick and quiet, like me. You'll be fine. Here's the lamp, good luck.
Greetings, Resident.
I convinced Sotha Seal that the Congress requires yet another lecture on the sanctity of clockwork automata. He eagerly agreed. Seemed almost giddy about it. It was unsettling. Is all in readiness? Good. Seal's lecture should begin any moment now. Stand ready to activate the lamp. I'm reasonably certain that something will happen, but the specifics elude me. I guess this is what uncertainty feels like. What a novel change of pace.
In the past, I have encouraged a child's curiosity and accepted minor blasphemies. But my generosity has limits.
What is that? What's happening?
After him! Someone seize that imposter! Huh.
I am the Clockwork God. You will kneel before me. Kneel! I will return.
I haven't the time to discuss this, Varuni. Wittingly or unwittingly, Lord Set no longer serves the people of Clockwork City. Now, if you will excuse me.
Gascon, where are you going? When news of this gets out, we need to issue a statement or at least gather the Congress for an emergency session.
I have urgent matters to attend to. Make whatever statement you like. I will return soon.
Well, that was enlightening. To think I've been speaking to Sotha Seal's shadow all this time. It seems so lifelike. Far more advanced than my own, I'm sorry to say. Fascinating. It really is too bad we'll all be dead soon. Well, I don't mean to alarm you, but I will be frank. If an imposter sits upon the throne aligned and learns how to wield the power of this place, a cataclysm will follow. We may yet discover a way to avert this disaster, but the chances are slim. Stay with Varuni. With Sotha Seal exposed as an imposter, the Congress will fall into turmoil. In such chaos, dark truths always float to the surface. Pray they do so quickly. I have other inquiries to make. Stay vigilant. We will meet again soon.
My dear Lord Set, what happened to you? I can scarcely believe what we just witnessed. How could this happen? How could a shadow masquerade as Lord Set? The Father of Mysteries would never let such a thing happen. There must be another explanation. Fear, of course. Always the iconoclast. I'll bet he's snickering at us even now. It doesn't matter. I appreciate your diligence. This has been a profoundly upsetting ordeal, but we must move forward. We must find the real Lord Set.
Yes. He was acting strangely, wasn't he? He always chafed under Lord Set's rule. Now he finally has a pretext to seize control, and he slinks away like a broken basilisk. Curious. Too curious. The real Lord Set will aid us eventually, I know it. In the meantime, we must do for ourselves. Thank you for everything you've done. It appears we'll have to do a lot more before this is through. Classic Gascoigne. Fleeing to his chambers when things go poorly. I'm sure that news of Lord Set's condition has already made it to the streets. We have to move quickly to prevent a panic. Try to talk to Gascoigne. He clearly doesn't care what I have to say, but he might listen to an exodromal. You remain, a novelty. No offense. We can't assemble the Congress without the Chancellor. Check his rectory in the west wing of the Basilica. He hides in there sometimes to nurse a bruised ego or write passive-aggressive memoranda. I'll try to settle the Apostle's nerves. Honestly, my nerves could use some settling. Don't let Gascoigne wriggle out of this. He has a duty and an obligation. As do I. What? Yes. Yes, I'll be fine. This makes no sense. I don't understand how a shadow could take Lord Set's place. Maybe this is some sort of test. But why test us? The Clockwork Apostles haven't strayed. We build and pray and experiment just as the holy texts dictate. Compromised? You make it sound as if Lord Set suffers some kind of defect, like a crimped duct or a stripped bolt or something. We're talking about a divine being. Gods can't be compromised. They exist without flaws. Right? Do you know what the sermons say? Complexity belies the truth. The world rests on simple principles. Set is the truth and the light. Understand the simple, and you understand the obscure. I do appreciate your candor. Let's pick this up again later.
I'm tempted to look the other way, but I can't.
Where did you hide it, you worm? There you are.
Get back!